spirits of the north, entrance to the mental realm and the element of air, we ask you to be here today, allowing my words to guide the minds of those watching this video. And may the animal kingdom, the creepy crawlers, the swimmers, the winged ones, and of course, the four-leggeds and mythical creatures, we ask you to be present, to remind us of the innocence and the loyalty and the fun that the animals bring us. Thank you so much, North. Great spirits of the east, entrance to the spiritual realm and the element of fire. Here we're rising like a phoenix from the ashes into a new way of being, a new way of living. This is the human realm, and this is where we are becoming the dream of our ancestors. All races, all colors, all beings are invited to rejoice in this new awakening that is sweeping over the planet. Thank you so much, East. You know, it's the fire realm. It is the sweeping up, sweeping through. Great spirits of the south, entrance to the emotional realm and the element of water. Here we're learning to go with the flow, to be in the flow, to experience the flow, to let emotion flow, to let the waters flow. And here in the south, we invite in the plant kingdoms, the trees, the shrubs, the grasses, the flowers, and of course our medicine plants. We're so grateful for all that the plant kingdom brings us. This includes the food, the shelter, the beauty, the oxygen, the medicines. The way that the plant kingdoms enhance our life is so beautiful, and we are so grateful. Thank you, South. Great spirits of the West, entrance to the physical realm and the element of earth. Here we're learning what it is to be rooted, to be grounded in this life, in this body. That's what the physical realm is about, the spirit coming into the body. And this is also our mineral kingdom. And I bet many of you watching have a little bit of a calling to the crystal realm. Do you like crystals? These crystals remind us of our etheric being, of our cosmic being, of our higher self. They connect us to these higher energies, and yet at the same time, they're from the earth. You know, and maybe you just think they're pretty at this time. Maybe you haven't even considered the metaphysical effects. But either way, the mineral kingdom is here to support us. And we know, if nothing else, these crystals are beautiful. Their colors, their stripes, their shapes, everyone is completely unique and has gone through millions of years of evolution inside the Earth's crust. And so that evolution is like the evolution that your soul is going under. And you, my friend, are a completely unique being here to shine in this physical realm. And so we call in the physical or the mineral kingdom, the rocks, the gems, the sands, the crystals, and of course our mixed metals and ores, which we're so grateful for. This is what's allowing us to communicate in this way, these metals with this microphone and computer. And then of course, transportation, all the other wonderful things that the mixed metals and ores give us. Amazing. Thank you, West. Mother Earth. Pachamama, Gaia, we're so grateful to be walking on your skin, to be connected to your nature. And our commitment to you is to connect more deeply, Mother Earth, to bring in to our bodies the wisdom that is here on our homeland. So thank you so much, Mother Earth. Please allow me to be a vessel for your word. Father Sky, star nations, star beings, all the ascended master realms, all of the Christ consciousness, Buddha nature, source, all of your spirit guides, all of your ancestors, because you are the dream of your ancestors and it is happening now right here on planet Earth. So we invite in all invisible friends to be present here today, to bring in your highest self and some wisdom for you that's going to carry you through to your next phase. Allow this little humble 2-hour workshop to be something that catapults you into the next stratosphere. And I'm going to be completely transparent from the beginning. At the end of the masterclass, the training, the energy upgrade, I will have an offer for those that might want to work with me more deeply. But please know there is so much value in just watching the video. And if you continue to watch at the end, wonderful. If not, that's wonderful too. I send you all the blessings and I wish for your upgrade. So here we go. Let's dive in. So I always like to start my master classes with a little story about me, how I got where I am, and how I got to be doing a training on embodying your purpose with science and spirituality. So here I am now standing in front of you, a budding entrepreneur, a what I call sometimes a shamanic performer, a dancer, a fire spinner. I definitely transmit my spiritual energy through my movement, through my dance. And of course, I'm a spiritual guide, which I work with many realms, including the shamanic energies, fifth dimensional energy work, Reiki, and my heart, my lineage, my prayer, my meditation. So there's many aspects that to who I am now, sitting here free, aligned. I'm about to move. I'm just going to say it. I'm living in the Virgin Islands in my dream location. The weather's beautiful. I get to dance, I get to play. I really do feel free, blessed, and cared for in my life. But it wasn't always this way, and there was a journey to get here. And so I want to take you back to 2008 and a little before 2008, when I was an aerospace engineer with Boeing. I had a calling to be an astronaut. One day in college, early on in my career, I was going to be a teacher. And then I just, had my first awakening. I didn't know it was that at the time. And it said, I want to be an astronaut. And so I changed the whole course of my life, and I got an undergraduate degree in aerospace engineering. And through that process, I did numerous internships with NASA, working on a Mars greenhouse project, working with carbon nanotubes, working with really advanced technologies, which led me into grad school and eventually getting offered a wonderful job at Boeing in Seattle. And so I moved out there. By the time I got my master's, that dream of being an astronaut had been fulfilled in its own way. I had this realization at the time. I was kind of a party girl. I definitely imbibed in alcoholic beverages. And I just had this realization, I didn't really have the lifestyle of an astronaut. I had gotten to have so many experiences, including working for NASA and flying on the KC-135, experiencing weightlessness, that I felt that dream had been fulfilled. And I was very excited to get out of school with my master's and get this wonderful job at Boeing. I got to work in Phantom Works, which is their high-tech R&D. And I had the privilege of doing the full gamut of engineering, from coming up with the concept, from the idea, to building the hardware, to testing the hardware, all the way from lab to wind tunnel, presenting data to five-star generals, and really being praised by my boss, and in many ways groomed for leadership within my department, because I was the first new hire in my group in almost a decade. I think it was about 7 or 8 years, and the first female. And my coworkers were wonderful. However, I had a moment. I had a day. I remember one day very, very clearly. And I had been working there for about 4 years, and I had the condo. I had all the things that should have brought me the happiness that I had been chasing for all those years. And I woke up one day and I took a deep breath, and the first thought I had was, only 10 years or only 30 years till I can retire. Oh, wow. Have any of you felt that way before? Where you wake up and you have this job you're about to do, and you're like, here we go again. And there's different levels. Like, some of you maybe just have the thought, like, here we go again, and you're ready to do it. And others of you might really have this unbearable feeling of, oh my gosh, here I go again. Another day at my job that doesn't fulfill me in any meaningful way. And that's what I had come to learn, that although I liked my job, although I could do it well, although I liked my coworkers, my job didn't bring me any deep meaning or fulfillment. It was always about chasing the goal that was going to take me to some amazing place, right? Off world, off to outer space, off to the space station, wherever the astronaut life would take me. And then that wasn't it. Now, many people in this situation would stay in this situation. Luckily, there was something in my soul, something in my purpose that was calling me for more. And if you are watching this video, I would like to offer you that something is calling you to more as well. And it might be just in the beginning stages, or you might be very aware and full on in what you might call a spiritual awakening. But either way, there is greatness headed for your life just on the other side of your comfort zone, of course. So I did the unthinkable and I started the process of quitting my job as an aerospace engineer. Luckily, my boss was so understanding. He actually had a daughter who channeled angels in the Netherlands. So, in some way, he understood what was going on in what I was calling a spiritual awakening. And one night I did have a very clear moment. It was probably about a year and a half after that initial, how can I do this? This isn't my life, to when I had an experience on plant medicine where I was given my purpose very clearly. It was dance and spirituality. Those were the two words I was given quite clearly. And so that was the purpose that was instilled in me that I have not been able to turn back from. And so I continued, I left my job. And in the end, I went head on into my spiritual journey. I went head on to embody my purpose and find out what I was given on this awakening experience. The wisdom that I felt that I was given had to become embodied so that I could share it with other people. And so that process of sharing involved about 9-10 day vipassanas, 3 enlightenment intensives, multiple 10-day vipassanas, multiple retreats, multiple studying with multiple shamans, studying with multiple teachers to awaken who I am, because only by understanding do we transform. So I am here now. And I bring this to you humbly to say, how do I tie my story back to you? Well, maybe you are where I was 15 years ago at this point. Oh my gosh, only 30 years till I can retire. How am I going to keep doing this? Is this fulfilling me? Is this my dream life? Well, I jumped in the rabbit hole. I went into the quantum field for 15 years to gather all the wisdom, to gather all the information, to bring it back, pop it square into your energy field so that you can continue on where you are, taking a quantum leap energetically into a new phase of your life. And at this point, that might not make that much sense, and that's okay. It's going to make more sense as we continue with this presentation. But that is where I'm at, that I have gone through a journey and I'm offering you guidance throughout this masterclass to skip over the adventure, which is quite a wild ride, to deliver it to you packaged up in a transmission to get you where you need to go. I hope that made sense. So with that, let's hop back into our screen share and see what we're going to be talking about here today. Boom. All right, so we just did our ceremony. That is my slide for our ceremony. Boop. All right, so let's talk about a little bit about reality, because what this masterclass is embodying purpose with science and spirituality. So where are we going to go with this? So I'm going to focus on 2 key components about our reality, about our scientific reality, that are true, and rooted in spirituality, and yet we don't really embody and live it. It's like quantum to us, right? It's too far away from what we experience on a macro level to fully embody. And so we are at this point where we are being asked to evolve to the next phase where we're doing things a little bit different and really aligning with the science. So, our first little bit of science is that your subconscious mind is 90% of your brain's processing power that you are aware of. And your physical reality is made out of 99.99 empty space. That means only 0.001 of physical matter is actually physical matter. I'm going to exit out of the slide because I want to talk to you here. Let's start with the subconscious mind. So what this means is most of the way we feel about things, our thoughts, our actions, our beliefs, and thus the way things show up in our life is created by our subconscious. We are not even aware of it. And so let's say you are experiencing stress and burnout, for example, or you're just feeling kind of blah, you're feeling empty. Life's feeling like, what's the point of all this? And it's just, you're just going on the wheel, right? So we think it's because of our outside world. You know, there's wars happening, there's mass shootings happening, there's a recession happening, there's, politics is a mess, there's wars. It's like, and then you have what's going on in that's the macro. Then you have what's going on in your work life, whether you're an entrepreneur trying to get started, whether you are in a job that's not quite fulfilling your needs and you're looking for something more, you're feeling a call to more. And then there's your personal life, whatever's going on in your personal life, your relationships with your children, your relationships with your family. These are all things that are outside, but they're driven by your subconscious. The way you feel about things is your subconscious. Now, at the same time, 99.99% of all matter, that means your coworkers, that means your family, that means the weapons, that means the people dying. It is all energy. Now we perceive it as physical matter. Yes, right? This is solid. I can't chop through my hand. And this is where we get into the Buddhism science of mind and matter. And yes, we have these physical senses. We are a biological machine that is experiencing the world through these senses. And we are here to experience the third dimension on the way to evolving further into what would be called the fourth and fifth dimensions. And as we do, our sense of space and abilities will expand, but at this time, everything appears to be pretty solid. But just like we know when we watch a movie, sometimes those movies seem so real, we know they're not. And so we need to accept that the way we are perceiving the world is not aligned with reality. It is not aligned with science. That's a mind trip. Can I get a yes? Can I get a hand wave? If you're feeling the mind trip in this, that, oh my gosh, yes, I spend most of my life focused on the outside world, completely forgetting that it's actually my inside world. And so when we're talking about thoughts and actions, thoughts are energy. So if our thoughts are chaotic, stressed, anxious, that means our energy is chaotic, stressed, anxious. We could say out of alignment, right? If we are in alignment, we probably aren't going to be feeling all of these feelings of stress, burnout, alignment, or even yearning, right? When we're in alignment, we don't, I'm kind of going to go in both directions here, because after we finish the stress, or in between, I should say, in between the stress and the burnout is the yearning, the desire for this other thing, right? And our whole purpose, which we're really going to start to understand, is to come to the moment, to the center moment, and become our purpose. So subconscious mind and 99% energy. Let's go back into these slides and dig a little deeper with some imagery. So here we go. Many of you have probably heard of this theory before, where 10% of reality, 10% of the way we experience the world, the logic, the critical short-term memory is in our conscious mind. Under the subconscious is our beliefs, our emotions, our habits, our values. And then as we get even deeper, we have our imagination and our tuition. And then we get even deeper, we have long-term memory and, of course, the fight or flight. The one thing that humans are evolving out of, that is our purpose, quite frankly, to evolve our amygdala, pituitary, whatever the words are, we're evolving this part of our brain to be in trust, to not have to control everything and protect ourselves. Yes. Okay, now my work, I am specifically talking to everyone, of course, but my most ideal alignment is probably a scientific person looking to expand their career because you want to be free. You want to be sovereign. And so it all comes when you talk about purpose, profession, these are aligned. These are two things, two sides of the same coin. So these are some of the facts. And so I want you guys to take some time and really ask yourself how you're feeling about your work situation. Maybe take a piece of paper. If you are watching in a chat, write down what you are feeling. Workplace stress remains a concern for 77% of workers, and 57% indicated negative impacts because of work-related stress. So I listed these 1 through 7. I'd like you to ask yourself if you have experienced these in the past, let's say week or month. Have you experienced emotional exhaustion because of your work? Have you didn't feel motivated to do your best? Have you felt a desire to keep to yourself? Have you felt like quitting? Have you had lower productivity than you know you are capable of? Have you experienced irritability or anger with your coworkers or customers? And lastly, have you had feelings of being ineffective? So I hope you took that list and just ask yourself, have I felt any of these things? Because that's kind of how we come to the reality of where we're at in our life, by self-inquiry, know thyself. And so a lot of us just are so used to feeling stressed and burnt, feeling some of those things, that we don't really pull back to realize oh, these are unhealthy habits. These are things we don't want to be feeling. So if you looked at that list and you had 1, 2, of course, if you had 3 or more things pop up as, yes, I felt that, there's expansion in your life, and that's beautiful. That only means there's more alignment to be had. And so congratulations for being here and starting that journey into alignment. Cool. All right, let's pop back in to our journey together. Share. Boom. All right. So I wanted to do that and then pop back into this to kind of really push in. Oh, are we sharing? I want to do this. Play. There we go. I wanted to show this slide again to really hammer in the point that all of those things that you're feeling, not motivated to do your best, irritable or frustrated with clients and or coworkers, all of that stuff, that's driven largely by the subconscious, largely by energy in the subconscious, not by the people that are driving you nuts. Crazy, huh? Here's the other thing about reality. I just want to show this little picture quickly before we pop out. You're going to hear me talking about chakras or energy centers. Have you heard of a chakra? Put a yes in the chat if you have, put a no if you haven't. So yes, we're going to be talking about these energy centers, and it's just a way of looking at the world, because remember, we said that 99.99% of all matter is energy, and that includes your human body. And so, why bother looking at the whole universe, the whole planet, the whole everything, when all you have to do is focus on this little one body? And of course, this body is connected to the unified field. And so, what you radiate out is going to radiate out farther, 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 and attract like versus like attracts like. And so you'll become part of a web. And then over here, there'll be someone else rating like you, and boop, boop, boop. And before you know it, we're all over the planet. Love, light, laughter, all of those fun things. So 99% energy. So you have these energy centers. When we begin working with this energy in the body, I want to talk a little bit about these energy centers, these chakras. So this is just a way of looking at it. So Lynn, you just said that if all I have to do is work with this body, I can ignore all the rest of that. Well, how does that work? Okay, so imagine all of your energy centers, all of your chakras are projecting out into the world just like a movie screen. And the vibration, the frequency of all of those mixed together to project, just like in a normal TV, project out to create the image that you are seeing in front of you. That includes the way people are behaving, people you're meeting, things that are coming up within you. It's all projected out based on your energy field. And you have these energy centers, each which have themes, which we're actually not going to get into much today, but each one has a theme, and those themes kind of represent, when you put them all together, kind of a really good reflection of who you are, how you feel about things, and your overall taste vibrations. The wonderful thing is we can change this at any time. And it's a combination of a body, mind, and spirit thing to alter the frequencies of these energy centers, thus changing the movie we're reflecting out, our holographic universe theory for those of you in the quantum world, and thus what is reflected back into us. So let's dive a little bit deeper into how we can transform our energy on a very practical way to change our lives, to change the course of our profession if it's aligned with your purpose. That's the wonderful thing. There's nothing to do. It's only someone to be, and it's who your authentic self is. So let's pop back into our screen. Okay, so how to embody purpose clarity? We have 3 pillars. We got to get our masculine energy, our feminine energy, and our child energy all in alignment. Now, here on Earth, we are very active in our masculine energy. And of course, all 3 of these energies have a shadow side and a light side, a positive and negative side. But we're just talking about the different flavors of energy. We can associate these with mind, body, and spirit. So we have really been putting emphasis on the mind. We are really proficient in our masculine energy. And so we're going to talk about that. And then we're going to also talk about some other energies that could use a little bit more expression on Earth at this time. Okay. Masculine energy. So I'm only going to leave this slide up for a little while because I want to talk to you, but let's get the visual of what we're about to start talking about. So how we work with the masculine energy is through our beliefs, our thought energy. And this is very, very concrete in our world, right? We have a lot of beliefs about the way the world is, both in terms of our scientific beliefs, both in terms of our spiritual or religious beliefs, both in terms of our even subconscious beliefs that we were given from our ancestors, our parents, about religion, about the way the physical world is, about connection to spirit, about all of that stuff. So the wonderful thing so we're going to go beliefs, we're going to talk about mindfulness, and at the end, we're going to talk about scarcity and physical aggression. So I'm going to pop out of this slide because I really want to connect here. So we're going to be talking about beliefs. Oh my gosh, the most wonderful thing about the beliefs is you can change them anytime you want. And honestly, it took me a long time to really get this. But when you have a belief, often it's very ingrained in you. So it's not always a one and done thing. Like, I'm going to decide I'm never going to think this way again and I'm free. This is where that mindfulness on the triangle comes with. Mindfulness is being aware of yourself. So let's say I have a belief that there's not one coming. Spirit, what belief, what example should I use? That the earth is flat. I have a belief that the earth is flat. And so I am convinced that this is true. However, it doesn't really serve me. So let's pretend I got the internet's there's a lot of evidence that seems to suggest it's not flat. We got, all these images. We got the majority of people kind of assuming that it's round, like our whole reality in terms of gravity, all that stuff, like it all hinges around it being round. So does it serve me to believe that the earth is flat? And if the answer to that is no, like believing that kind of isolates me from people, it doesn't, there's a lot of holes that people seem to be able to poke, whatever the story is, I can make a choice to just change my belief. Now, other people might, that's one example. Another example of a belief might be around money. I have to work really hard to make money. Money doesn't grow on trees. Money's hard to come by. I have dealt with all of these. Believe me, I am the queen of the money imprint. And it is one that runs really deep in a lot of us in this capitalist society. And so these are all things that we can choose to believe differently. But depending on how deeply ingrained they are, for example, maybe the flat earth one is actually pretty easy to let go of. It's like, okay, well, because you're not really attached either way, right? It doesn't make any difference to me really if the earth is flat or round. Like day to day, it doesn't really matter. However, the other example, which I already forgot what it was. This is the problem about being in the flow. Um, if you have other beliefs, like anything having to do with religion, anything having to do with money, there we go, there it is. Those can be deeper because those can be ancestral, right? Your parents had those beliefs, your grandparents had those beliefs, especially many of us, our ancestors, came over to America in very sometimes dire situations. So you just never know what's in your energy field. It is all stored in the energy field. And so when we change our beliefs, this is epigenetics. Many of you have maybe heard of that. So when we start to change our beliefs, our mind changes, our energy, our whole energy changes, our whole world changes, because our beliefs and our thoughts are a primary source of energy. Like if we look back at this little picture here, let's go back to our slide. Look we see this mind just grinding away. How much energy do you think that creates? And so scarcity, and this goes over into our work too. And if you are a business owner and you want to transform your whole business, you need to look into the scarcity that corporations experience. Like everything's about the shareholders, everything's about the overall the profit, the deadline. So that is an example how scarcity and masculine energy has bled into our world in this capitalist society. And so the idea is, the reason that I am appealing to professionals, especially professionals in STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, is because we need to up level these systems, these corporations, to bring in this higher vibrational energy. So that's what I want to say about that. Now, beliefs, mindfulness is becoming aware of your thoughts. It's also becoming more aware of what's going on in your subconscious. And so I want to take you on a little journey right now into your subconscious. And this is actually going to be very fun and light, because just like all of the stuff that you don't like or you don't want to face is down in the subconscious, things that you don't even know are there because they are subconscious. Underneath all that is your future self. It is your imagination and the core of who you can be should you choose to embrace it and embody it. So I am going to do a little guided meditation with you. This is a guided meditation with what I like to refer to as ascended masters. You'll recognize some of these names. And really, it's just intended to calm your mind, to bring you into the subconscious. And when we're down there, we're going to take a deep dive into the Bermuda Triangle, into the water, and we're going to end up at the Cosmic Rose Temple. And in there, you are going to see a vision of your future self. Now, when I say see a vision of your future self, I want you to know that everybody sees in different ways. So we're now talking about the mind, we're talking about the third eye, and we're talking about some of these gifts that are available to humans that I bet many of you have. I bet many of you had them, were very aware of them when you were smaller, when you were a child, and possibly at some point in time they turned off. Maybe you have vivid dreams, you're a seer. So we're going to do a visualization. However, I understand, because I am one of these people, not everyone sees things visually. So although this is a visualization, do not judge yourself that it has to be any certain way. You might get to your future self, and one person said, for example, she saw or she got an image. So it was, just like a little flash of herself wearing a yellow suit. Well, that's very powerful, wearing a suit. That is a little key, right? And the point is the more work you do, the more you work this muscle of going into the subconscious, the easier it will be to bring out information. And so whatever you get during this little time, I just enjoy it. Just have fun with it. Like, don't take it too seriously. And if you are a very energetically sensitive person, a very visual person, and can really dive into those meditations, then I'm super excited for you, because I think you're really going to enjoy this. A lot of love, a lot of high vibrations have gone into creating this meditation for you. So I'm going to set up my headphones. That might be a nice time to just take a little 1 minute break to get some water, because I'm going to put on some headphones. So I'm going to put on a little song. I'm going to share audio, and we'll just take a little 1 minute break, go potty, and we'll be back. Share. Oh wait, I don't want to share audio yet. Sorry, I can start something now. Okay, so I need to put the headphones on first, then I can share audio. This just allows the mic to just pick up my voice and the music that we're going to be using, and not kind of get stuck in. All right, we'll be back in about a minute. All right, let's jump in. Okay, so we are going to do a little visualization. Again, no judgment here. If you are a person and you're thinking to yourself, I don't know how to visualize, or visualizing is really hard for me, that's okay. Just allow your mind to relax for this 10, it's about 10-12 minutes. Sink in, and it'll be what it'll be, you know? You'll definitely get some wisdom. There's no wrong way to do this. So the thing about beliefs, right? The belief that I can't do this, that I'm not intuitive, that I can't visualize things, that I don't have access to my higher self. Those are all self-limiting beliefs. And so you do have access to your higher self. You just have to accept that it's not always as like wowza as we want it to be. Sometimes it's just coming in. So again, in this little visualization, just take what you get. And after, we're going to have a couple minutes to journal and write down a little bit so that you will remember. So just relax. If you fall asleep, that means that you aren't ready to see. But what I want to be clear about is this is an ascended master meditation. I am embodying my ascended master right now. And so there will be energy being exchanged and received even if you fall asleep. But of course, if you can stay awake and visualize, it will be a lovely experience for you. Okay. I'm going to start the music. So go ahead and you can go ahead and just, it's only 10 minutes. So you can lay down if you want to lay down. Yes, go ahead and lay down. Or you can stay vertical and just close your eyes, take a deep breath. Close your eyes, settling into this moment. Breathe in slowly, letting the crisp, cool air fill your lungs. Feel it rejuvenating every cell in your body. Exhale, gently releasing every ounce of stress, tension, and worldly concern. With every breath, surrender further, plunging into the depths of your subconscious and setting sail on a sacred voyage. You find yourself standing on the edge of an expansive ocean near the mystical Bermuda Triangle. The horizon is a mesmerizing blend of lavender, gold, and rose, and the sun gracefully meets the sea. Its reflections shimmer like countless diamonds dancing upon the water's surface. Feeling an irresistible pull, you take a step forward, letting the waves tenderly kiss your feet. As they recede, they beckon you to venture deeper, deeper. The subtle rhythmic whisper of the tide promises to guide you, lulling your mind, urging you deeper. Not just into the ocean, but into the recesses of your thoughts and dreams. With every step, you delve deeper into the vastness of the ocean, and in tandem, deeper into the vastness of your own mind. The world's noises begin to dim, replaced by the silence of the deep blue. This silence resonates within, offering you a moment to truly listen to your innermost feelings and desires. Further still, as you move deeper, the weight of the water adds gentle pressure, akin to a comforting embrace, reaffirming your inward journey. The waters grow cooler, a refreshing sensation, and you are serenaded by the songs of distant whales, their melodies encouraging introspection and harmony. In the very core of this underwater realm, a soft light pink and gold beckons you. Its lure is irresistible. You find yourself effortlessly gliding towards it. Emerging from this aquatic ballet, the cosmic rose temple unveils itself. It is beautifully sculpted from rose quartz and moonstone. A tender radiance emanates from it, reminiscent of the sun's embrace you felt on the shoreline. Guarding its entrance are the statues of Mother Mary and Mary Magdalene. Their silent presence envelops you in a tide of unconditional love and gratitude. As you inch closer, the surrounding waters give off a fragrance of roses, sandalwood, and frankincense. These scents transport you to ancient sacred grounds. Once inside, the temple is breathtaking. Vaulted ceilings tower above, their details telling tales of timeless wisdom. The ground below you is a sea of rose petals. Their velvety touch gently caresses you with every step you take. At the heart of this sanctum, a grand circular chamber stands as a testament of unity and divine connection. As you step into its center, a profound sense of belonging envelops you. The ascended masters form a protective circle guiding around you, each resonating with an element, a realm, and an infinite well of wisdom. The profound energy radiating from the four corners of this divine space calls to you. Your heart beats in harmony with the cosmic rhythms as you prepare to receive wisdom that will illuminate your purpose with crystal clarity. Gently turn your awareness to the north. Here stands the graceful Kuan Yin, guardian of the mental realm. The soft, calming scent of lavender envelops you as a light breeze gently brushes against your skin. It whispers ancient secrets, guiding you towards clarity of thought. Kuan Yin's eyes lock into yours, a silent communication of understanding. She speaks, her voice as delicate as the morning breeze. The mind can either be stormy or a serene lake. To find your purpose, you must still the waters. Listen to the whispers of your soul and trust the wisdom within. Her words, overflowing with millennial of knowledge, encourage you to let go of overthinking, to embrace intuition, and to see not just with your mind, but with your soul. Moving your awareness to the east, the sacred fire held by white buffalo calf woman flickers, casting dancing shadows. The grounding scents of sage and sandalwood rise in spirals, pulling you deeper into spiritual connection. She steps forward, her eyes fiery yet kind. Your spirit knows the path. Ignite the sacred flame within and let it guide and lead you. Your purpose is not something to be found outside, but to be remembered from within. The fire's warmth reminds you that your spiritual essence holds the key to your life's purpose. Guided next to the south, you are embraced by the soothing, cooling sensation of water, representing the emotional realm. Mother Mary and Mary Magdalene, guardians of emotions, stand before you. The fragrance of roses, sweet and pure, fill the air, opening your heart. With a voice like a harmonious melody, they speak in unison. Your emotions are the compass of your soul. Feel deeply, love fiercely, and let your heart guide you to your purpose. Their words instill a deep sense of trust in your feelings and intuition, affirming that emotional wisdom is pivotal in realizing your true calling. Finally, you turn westward. Here, bathed in the divine aroma of frankincense, stands a familiar figure. It's you. your ascended master self. This enlightened version of you radiates love, wisdom, and understanding. They step right closer, reflecting your highest potential. Within you lies every answer you've ever sought. You are the master of your destiny and the architect of your dreams. Trust in yourself, for your purpose is a song only you can sing in the world. With gentle guidance, you pivot to face the heart of the circle. As you do, you sense your ascended master self closely behind, a radiant energy beckoning. Within moments, the two of you are one, your wisdom and love seamlessly blending into your essence. Suddenly, the center of the hall stirs, revealing a holographic vision of your future self. Confident, aligned, and deeply rooted in purpose, they stand as a testament to your potential. What do you see? What do you feel? What do you sense? What surrounds this future version of you? Are there vast landscapes, bustling cities, tranquil beaches or forests? Are you leading? Are you teaching? Are you healing? The colors, the peoples, and the emotion all provide clues to your path. Focus on what you are doing. Are you holding something? Are you speaking to someone? Are you creating something or leading an event? Is there a message that your future self wishes to convey? A whisper, a phrase, a mantra, or a song? Lean in and inquire. Allow your vision to unveil the insights. Slowly, the hologram of your future begins to fade. With gratitude and wisdom embraced within you, your ascended master self takes a step back and separates your energy. A warmth of love of their presence remains within you. You take a step forward and are now standing at the heart of the circle. Feel the lingering energies of the ascended masters. There's a gentle pull from the pink and golden portal, the exit of this realm. It is time to go back to the surface and integrate your transformative download. Approaching the portal, you sense the welcoming embrace of the waters beyond. Step through and let the calm ocean envelop you, guiding you towards the surface. As you ascend up, up, up to the surface, the muted marine world around you comes to life. Luminescent fish reappear, guiding you upwards even more. The weight of the water lightens, and the sound of the ocean becomes more distinct. You are nearing the surface. The warmth of the sun beckons. Glide gracefully, grounding the ethereal wisdom you've gained in the tangible reality of your existence. Breaking the surface, the world welcomes you back. Feel the gentle waves, the fresh air, and let the sun's rays dry and warm your skin. Take a few breaths here, floating, letting the ocean's rhythm sync with your heartbeat. And when you are ready, draw your consciousness back to your surroundings. Feel the rhythm of your breath and the weight of your body. As you come back, I'm going to invite you into a little writing exercise to find out what you saw. Let's go to share screen here. All right, and I'm going to phase out this music and bring in something a little more upbeat because hopefully you got something super amazing. And so I don't want this to be any focus on where you are not. I want you to focus on where you are going. So, who was that person you saw? What did you see? And what beliefs do you need to change before you can embody that purpose? So I'm going to put a song on. I'm going to put some of the things that you were the cueing from the actual insight from the meditation into the chat, so that you can read it. And also you're going to think about what you need to do to become this person, because let me tell you, it's within you. Here is our 3-minute song. I'm actually going to stop the share, take off the headphones, and then go back into the share. All right, here we go. 3 minutes. This would also be a good time to go grab a drink of water. You want to drink lots of water when we do that merge. So make sure to drink some water. And of course, we are writing about how we're going to get to that future self that we saw. Here are some of the cues you had. What surrounded you? What was the landscape? What were the people? Were you holding anything, doing anything? Remember that every little thing, every little thought, every little idea is a clue for you. About 1 more minute left. Who did you see? Who is this future self, this goddess, this king, this queen that is sovereign and free and aligned and living a life that's happy and meaningful? All right, we are back. Let's hop right in. We'll stay in these slides as we move on to our next pillar. So we talked about our masculine. We got to change these beliefs. And then next, we got to tap into the feminine energy. We got to start connecting with our earth wisdom, and we got to connect with this body, right? Now, all of the blame and shame that is associated with the body, right? It's biblical, right? The story of Adam and Eve. We have Me Too. We have all of these things. So again, I'm going to go out of the slide because I really want to be able to connect with you, but we're going to be talking about getting back in touch with earth wisdom, getting back in touch with nature, getting back in touch with our body, moving our body, connecting with our body through movement, getting wisdom from our body, going to the earth, continuing this cycle. And of course, in the end, we are healing blame and shame. So let's talk a little bit about this. Stop the share. So, feminine energy, bringing it into our world. We are so disconnected from earth. Um, Earth is a living being. This is the new way. This is the feminine energy that we are offering you. So the indigenous people have believed this for a very long time, that everything is a living being. And so this is where the second part here is going to tie into the first part, where maybe what I'm saying is new to you. Maybe you grew up with a very specific spiritual worldview, and it is this he god or whatever you may have, and so this idea of everything having life is new to you. And so this is just a feminine worldview. Remember, we're all talking about energy, whether it's beliefs, whether it's physical things, it's all just energy. So you are being invited to learn about some new energies, to bring in some new energies. And that comes by connecting more with our earth wisdom, getting outside, breathing, going camping, all of that stuff. And then, of course, within that, you may have felt that when I opened the 4 directions at the beginning of our little opening ceremony, right? I called in all of the nature realms, all of the animals, all of the humans, the plants, the mineral. So that is the Mother Earth wisdom. So wonderful thing is you are living in it right now. So when we say this, yes, we're talking about indigenous teachings. We're talking about plant medicines. We're talking also in many ways Ayurvedic, other types of medicine also tap into earth cycles of the elements of Qigong has water or air, wood, metals. So many different techniques draw on the earth elements. And so this is a worldview you are being invited to open to. And as you educate yourself more and as you expose yourself more to being open to direct wisdom and information coming from being in nature, coming from that spaciousness that you can get outside, that you can trust yourself, that you have the wisdom within you. This wisdom, this deep wisdom, this earth wisdom also lives within your body because you are a microcosm of earth, just energetically, right? It's all energy. So one atom connects to another, connects to another, connects to another. So if your feet are on the touching earth, you're more or less connected to earth, even if you have shoes on, right? There's more layers. You got to go through the rubber of the shoe and then the carpet and the cement, but you're still connected. It's a unified field. So when you connect, Mother Earth is a microcosm of the body. And so movement can really help integrate this energy. It helps integrate cosmic energy too. It helps integrate thought energy, new belief energy. But so many of us live stagnant lives. And so when we talk about movement, there's many types. What I want to call attention to is, of course, dance, right? Movement for fun and letting the body move in its natural way. Our movement, our exercise in the Western world has become so regiment, like it's running on a treadmill, it's lifting weights. And yes, that is very wonderful functional training. And I encourage that. I do that. I lift light weights. I do cardio. I could stand to do a little bit more cardio. But I get cardio in free movement. I have trained my body to trust my body. I'm not ashamed of how my body moves. I'm not afraid of how it looks when I'm like, striking a pose, when I'm strong. And so I'm able to integrate these higher vibrational wisdom. And so much of this comes from loving your body. women and men, how many of you sometimes don't love your body? How many of you sometimes wish your body was different than it is? Too big, too small, too dark, too light, too big, too small, too big, too small, too big, too small, too big, too small, everything, it's like nothing is ever right with this body. Everyone can find one thing about their body. And so we are on a process of self-love. And this is also what the feminine energy is about, is the self-love. And it starts with loving the body, treating the body with care. And so we tackle that first with movement, but then of course, diet is a part of it. But at the end of the day, it's all about integrating energy, moving energy to allow it to integrate in. And so this is where part of what I do in my work is the dance. There's fire spinning, there's aerial. And part of my great desire is to share this with people and get everyone else moving and having fun, because that's, maybe you do think lifting weights is fun. I don't know. It's different. Moving and exercising with dance, with martial arts, with free movement, with animal type movement, with all these like exploration of the body can lead to greater connectivity and greater like connection with each other, more of a community than just plain old lifting weights. And so we're going to be bringing in a new kind of movement here where we are having fun with our body. I also want to bring power to martial arts. So I like Qigong, I like Tai Chi. I have studied with Shaolin monks. I forgot to mention that in my little beginner bio, that like my flow arts, some of you may have seen videos of me or in that beginning video, both with fire and with the stick that is called a staff. And so these are traditional martial arts tools. And so when I'm tapping into this feminine energy and I have these new beliefs about possibility and the vastness of time and space, I feel like I can tap into this past life, whether, we were making up or not, doesn't matter, where I'm tapping into this inner monk. And that's why some of these tasks come easy to me. Some of the moves are easy to me because I've done them before. And so you will find, as you start working with your energy field, working with your energy centers, your dormant feminine energy will come forth and your natural gifts will birth through. So this is the starting point of really understanding our purpose. When we love our body enough for our natural gifts to shine through. This was the starting point for me, because part of my evolution from engineer to this, I did a little burlesque class, right? I did take action to fall in love with this body. I did not always love this body the way I do now. And so dance, movement, letting go of shame around your body is so key to your healing and to your evolution, because the body holds the memories. The body keeps the score, right? Epigenetics. There is no separation between our masculine energy and our feminine energy. And we know this, right? Because we know about the yin and yang, where we have two sides and then one of each. But there is a third energy, the inner child energy. And we're going to talk about that. But before we do, I want to wrap up our feminine energy with a little dance. So I have chosen a 2-minute royalty-free song, and I'm inviting you to move however that is for you. So you may want to stand. I'm going to stand up and dance. I'm going to push my desk back a little bit so there's a little bit more space for me. You may want to just maybe watch. So the whole point of this is I'm here to give. So I will be intending to transmit energy during this little dance. So maybe you can receive it. And I will stand a little and sit a little, I get me. So I'll just connect with eyes too. But the point is, whatever kind of movement you want to do it. If you felt some profound things, if that meditation was like, whoa, stand up and move and integrate it. Bring that energy in your body, right? So if we're moving, we're putting energy out. If we're putting energy out, what's that doing? That's creating space for new energy, for this higher energy, for the new beliefs that are being downloaded into you, the new information, the new energy that's being downloaded into you to be integrated during a little movement. So hopefully this works. I'm going to try sharing the computer sound and then muting my mic. That should work. Okay. So you're not going to hear me talk. I'm not going to talk for the next 2 minutes. So that's fun because I'm still working on my sound mixing. Because this is about you. And that is a key thing I want to do. And that's why a lot of my movement, gem movement, is a modality that is birthing. And part of it is choreographed and we do it together in community. And then parts of it, you kind of break off and do your thing, because so much of your wisdom is in your body and the way you move. So during this portion, I'm actually going to start, you'll see me rolling my neck, my shoulder. So I'm just going to move through my joints, and I invite you to move through your joints with me. You can just watch. Like I said, I'm not going to be talking. And then that'll be about a minute. And then a minute, we're just going to do our free movement. So dance like no one's watching, right? Isn't that what the Bible says, right? Dance like no one's watching. So this is your opportunity for 2 minutes to dance like no one's watching and see what that feels like. Can you invite in this feminine energy of flowing movement? Ooh, I want to talk about something. I don't know how I'm going to end up moving, but a lot of times women, we kind of we get so in our body and it feels so good, right? And maybe somebody in our past has called that sexual, right? So we're going to get a little Me Too energy talking here. Somebody saw the female form, the way it was moving when it was free, and the masculine labeled it. Now, not the same as the masculine, as the mind, but I'm talking about just the toxic masculine energy, the patriarchy energy, wanted to own this body. And so it took what I would call sensual feminine energy and made it sexual energy. It made it about sex, right? So that's not what this is about. This is about feeling good for you. This is second chakra. This is the womb area. This is creative energy, but we're starting to learn that this creative energy can be used to create a physical life, and then also like a baby, and then of course just like a physical life, like whatever life we want to create. This energy is available to us, and it is feminine in nature, right? The creative force is feminine nature, as is shown by the female form being what gives life. And we got the witch trials, we got Me Too, we got body autonomy rights that are a thing in this time space continuum right now. So we can override it, we can overcome it, and it happens by raising our vibration. So right now, the reflections that we are seeing are about the treatment of women and the separation between men and women is very apparent in our outside world. But remember what we believe, that we're choosing to believe that we have control, and that if we go within and transform our energy, and of course, if enough of us do it, because it's a very big hologram, then we will see it reflected back at us. And the thing about media is media zooms in, it expands the hologram, right? So it's not, you can't just see what's near you, you can see what's very far away from you as well, right? So keep that in mind when you're watching media, because that's what you're doing with your body, right? That's your separate from your mind, your brain. Anyway, I feel like I'm talking a little much. I said we're going to dance. So going to share a little song. Push this back again. Everyone, let's take a drink of water. Get thirsty here. Oh, it's going back a little more. I think one of them has the brake on. Ooh, there goes my light. Okay, I got to stop here. And I got an extra lamp here because you got to have light when you do video things, right? Okay, 2 minutes of dancing, guys, 2 minutes of moving your body. Of course, if you want to stay in your chair, you might be watching me, you might be injured, you might not be able to, stand up. So chair dance, move the joints that you can. And again, this is more about any movement is better than no movement. It's all about intention. So our little 2-minute song. Share computer audio. Fun little song. That was it. That was 2 minutes. We made it just through the body. Perfect timing. So let me ask you a question. Got to share a screen. Got to share the screen. Boom, boom, boom. Reflect on how you feel after just 3 minutes of music and dance. What beliefs do you need to change so that you can give yourself more freedom to move and expand? Because I know when we want to exercise, whether it's having fun, like doing dance or martial arts or something, or if it's, if you're still just trying to get water aerobics or walk around the block, wherever you're at is perfect. But what beliefs do you need to change? Because a lot of it's like, oh, I don't have time. I don't have time to, and I know, it takes a change. So the idea is when you do energy work, you actually have more energy to do things that you don't feel like you have time or energy to do because you have more energy, and time is energy. So you can do everything faster and more efficient. So I'm going to put that little 2-minute song on one more time. And again, go ahead and reflect on what you can do to give yourself more time, and how did that feel? How did that little dance feel? I hope it was fun. Here's that little song again. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. You have moved your body. Yes. So remember, we are reclaiming. If that was difficult, and actually that went really quickly. You probably didn't even get that much time for free dance. So there's more homework. I got to get out for this. You have another homework assignment. You can even pause this if you're watching this after the fact. If you're watching this not live, because of course this is all space and time. Put on your favorite song and dance to it like no one's watching. So that was just a little bit to get your joints going, but take some time to move. And even if it is doing squats, doing what might seem like more structured movements, having that favorite song on can definitely bring in that extra feeling of joy and happiness. So get out there, get dancing like no one's watching. If you have children, put on a song that is age appropriate and dance as a family. Oh my gosh, what a wonderful thing to bring the family together to every day. Somebody picks a song and you all dance to it together. Wouldn't that be an amazing world that we would create? And so it is. Onwards. All right, one more pillar, guys. 2/3 of the way there. So I said the masculine energy. We understand that the world is a balance of masculine and feminine. Sorry, almost there. Okay, here. Okay, on to the next screen. So what's missing? Child energy, right? So when we think of the yin and yang, we think of the masculine energy and the feminine energy, but we've kind of forgotten about this child energy. And isn't there, along with dance like no one's watching, isn't there some quote in the Bible about be like the children, the innocent of the children, that kind of stuff? And so that is our inner child. That is the innocence. That is the one that just goes for it and trusts. That is the one that heals our connection to spirit, is our inner child, right? This belief. And so we're going to be talking about some 5D energy work, some little bit of magic beyond what you might be familiar with. And the purpose of this is to heal connection, to reconnect us to our higher self. So let's talk about that little 5D energy work. Oh my gosh, what does that mean? And creating magic and connecting us to spirit. So we know our master Yeshua, also known as Jesus, was known to do some hands-on healing, to do healing that would cause miraculous things. Now remember, we're talking about the quantum field. So we're going back with the quantum field, there's no space and time, everything's connected. And so we can tap into healing. We can do instantaneous healing. We can do instantaneous healing from a distance if we have a properly aligned body and if we have beliefs that we can do that, right? And so this is where the fifth dimensional energy work comes in. When I'm talking about fifth dimensional energy work, I'm talking about things you've probably heard of before. I'm talking about Reiki. I'm talking about healing touch. I'm talking about Reiki, healing touch, anything Chinese medicine, tapping into the chakras, tapping into the energy. So like acupuncture, acupressure, cranial sacral. There's so many different energy techniques. Like there's countless. I kind of drew a blank. My primary is Kundalini Reiki. And I think that's why that's the main one I mentioned, because there's so many types of Reiki. We could just talk about Reiki, but the idea is that there is this extra energy. This energy shows up in the cells. And when it shows up in the cells, we have transformation. So we're going to talk about how this works because I'm calling this magic. It's not magic, it's science. I'm connecting it to spirit because it's still kind of unknown to us. It's still kind of curious. It still requires this childlike innocence to say, I don't know. I can't see it. I don't know what it's going to do, but I trust it and I believe in it and I'm going to put it in my body and I'm going to go for it. So, talking about this 5D energy, I'm going to play a little video from a movie called The Healing Field that talks a little bit about the science behind this energy work, this fifth dimensional energy work. All right, here we go.
A number of scientists around the world have been looking at studying energy healers to try to isolate what that energy is that they send. And with increase in electrical energy, there's a surge in voltage. There's also a surge of magnetic energy. And there's a huge surge in these biophoton emissions, the current of light coming from the body, particularly from a healer's dominant hand. Now, we're not talking about ordinary energy because we know that healing can occur over vast distances. So probably what's going on here is much more complicated. There's probably some sort of quantum effect which doesn't require any kind of distance. That can be the same effect over any kind of distance. Or it may be a combination of all of the above.
I've done numerous studies since about 1978 on energy healing. And one of the systems that I've studied are cell cultures in the laboratory. And I found beneficial effects repeatedly on cells in the lab, especially cells that needed healing, that had been damaged by antibiotics or temperature shocks. When healers placed their hands on the cultures or nearby, or even in distant healing cases, the cells recovered faster than the control cultures that were not treated by them. And that's a remarkable effect because it shows that the power of energy healing goes beyond the biology of belief or a placebo effect. The fact that cell cultures can respond means that the cells in our bodies are also responding to energy healing, not just our minds, but it's working at all the levels of our beings.
The received wisdom in Orthodox medicine is that energy healing has no evidence and doesn't work. Nothing could be further from the truth. There are at least 150 excellent scientific studies of energy healing, and these are those gold standard randomized double-blind type studies that are used in science, and they demonstrate a very robust effect.
For me, and for most of the modalities that I have studied, which is about 200 different modalities, most healers start with setting an intention for the highest good of the client. A client does not have to believe in what is happening. All he or she has to do is express a willingness. The healer is like a garden hose, and the energy flows through the healer to the client. I was called in by
Mute. Crazy, right? Isn't that amazing? So again, the key to remember is that you don't necessarily have to believe first. It comes on a cellular level first to start to change your energy field. It's showing up scientifically on EKGs and machinery, the lighting up of the cells. Through that process, through that observation, this is where it becomes scientific. We observe changes in our life, and that observation changes our beliefs. So it starts with the body. The body allows the mind to shift. Also, the mind is more open, so the mind is allowing the body to shift. And this is all happening through this transference of energy. And in this particular case, you certainly have the power to move these energies, whether it's Reiki, healing, touch. This is available to everybody. And then, of course, people like me have been training, have purified the mind and purified the body and reconnected with spirit to be a guide in that process too, to shorten that time. So if I may, I'd like to just tell you a little bit about how this 15 years has culminated. I would like to ask, may I share with you a little bit about what has birthed through me as a result of 15 years of working? What is come through is a program that offers power, passion, and purpose. So when you start to work with your own energy, you're going to have more power over your mind and your reactions, more control over your life, and more mental wellness. So that is our first key. If you're asking, how is this helping me? It's helping you by mental wellness. More passion in your body and safety and comfort, a sense of belonging, and professional alignment. So when our purpose isn't aligned with our profession, we're walking into our job and it doesn't feel right. If you're an entrepreneur building your own business, it's hard to get in front of the computer and do the jobs you need to do. It's hard to get visible and be seen and do the things you need to do to be seen in the way you need to be seen, because your purpose and your alignment, your profession, there's no passion there. You're not excited about your work. So of course you can't show up. And then thirdly is this alignment with your purpose on a spiritual level. And so there's many names for this. Your connection with Divine Mother, your I am presence, you might call it creator, you might call it God, whatever that is. But when you are embodying your purpose, you are an authentic leader. So these are my 3 pillars that I believe you are looking for and will serve you: mental wellness, purpose and professional alignment, and authentic leadership. And so I've worked with many professions, and I would just like to share a couple testimonials of people who have gone through my program to experience their transformation. I've worked with high-level entrepreneurs, 7-figure CEOs, other healers, entrepreneurs, technicians, all different types of people. So I invite you to listen to what these lovely ladies had to say about what happens when you do this energy work.
Super simple question. How did you help? I mean, how did you not help is probably a better question. I knew that I was the struggle, but I couldn't figure out how to do it myself.
So I didn't know the beauty that would come out of learning how to release those, that feeling of calm and connectedness inside the body, because I'm a head-based person. By feeling, I mean the sensory experience, not just the emotive experience. I feel more calm and centered when I'm faced with a challenging dynamic.
And start like let myself become more free and accepting of myself through the program.
I began to see relationships with my children changing and evolving. I started noticing that those one-word answers were turning into sentences and then pretty soon conversations. And so this was a very authentic process that just, or a holistic process, I guess, that just, I think really opened up space for my children to come in and be their authentic selves. Because I was in a different space while I was working with Lynn.
Being able to set boundaries in my romantic relationships, that's something where I've really seen a difference.
Blessings have come in ways that like I would have never expected.
I was not totally in alignment with myself. I'm just feeling so much more like myself and excited about like what the possibilities are for me, feeling more connected to spirit and just like getting more of a sense of like alignment with my purpose in a more specific way than I had been before.
I just feel like having worked with you for the 4 months, the shifts were subtle, and then all of a sudden you realize, okay, wow, things have changed. Just the way that I react differently, how I feel a lot more calm, how I'm able to shift my energy more effectively. Just
really bringing me back to me. It's really the reminder to take that moment and just sink in for yourself. All these other people, everything I do is serving other people. But what am I doing for me? And this time out has really brought me back to that so that I can come back to those things charged, ready to serve at a greater place.
I left every session with like feeling like a whole new person.
What it's really going to do is pave the way not only for the future of our relationships, but as Lynn and I were talking earlier, as well as for my grandchildren. My grandchildren will potentially be able to have different relationships with their parents, as well as a different relationship with myself because of this work.
Using a glitchy old computer, sometimes you need to upgrade the hardware, and sometimes you need to upgrade the software, and sometimes you need to upgrade a little bit of both. So I love that you were kind of my guide to be upgrading my software, getting rid of the old glitchy software, and installing new and better software.
What Lynn does is really like it's following a particular structure and sequence, but it is exactly like channeled for you and where you're at, what you've gone through, what you need. So I highly recommend.
So there you have it. It is highly recommended. Now, you may be noticing this background is a little bit different because when I originally filmed the Embody Your Purpose Masterclass, when I exited that testimonial reel, unfortunately, I didn't alter the volume and the whole sound got cut off for the whole last portion. So now I am coming back to you with the invitation. Now, if you've made it this far in this video and you are on the sales page for Atomic Power, chances are you knew this was coming. And so, yes, I would like to personally invite you to join me for 8 weeks to dive deep into your energy field. So are you ready to get unstuck and start living a magical life? There is so much inside of you, underneath all of the subconscious programming, underneath all of the perceptions of the physical world. When you get into the energy field, into the inner self, and start knowing thyself, your life will transform. You'll be able to wake up every day clear and grounded and in the flow, feeling happy to take on the day, ready to take on any challenges. You'll confidently know when and how to take bold action that you may have been putting off. You'll effortlessly be able to create authentic and heart-centered communications with coworkers, loved ones, and anyone else you might come in contact with. And finally, you'll be able to receive clear, intuitive guidance from your highest self, your ancestors, your spirit guides, and God, creator, whatever you imagine that to be. It really will. This atomic power process is a very simple process. It's very done for you. And at the end of the 8 weeks, you really will feel like you made quantum leaps in your energy field, which will lead to quantum leaps in your career and, of course, skyrocketing your personal potential. The most exciting part about this inaugural run of the Atomic Power Process is that it's going to be live. We get to be together one-on-one. Actually, it's small group, but one-on-one connected in this unified field, all as one. It's going to be Thursdays at 12 Eastern. There will be replays. So if you can't come live, no worries. You'll be able to catch the replay, be in the energy field, and you'll be able to listen to these replays forever. So you're going to receive training on all of the different energy centers, also known as chakras. You're going to receive healing, Reiki healing on all of the chakras. And then we're going to have Q&A. You're also going to get the Mind Mastery Accelerator program. And this is going to help you listen to audios and reprogram your mind even faster to get rid of any beliefs that aren't serving you. And I just want to be clear that we're not trying to change any beliefs that you're not ready to release. Most of the beliefs we're going to start with are beliefs that you have about you and your potential and what you can do in this world and the impact you can make. So these are all 15-minute audios with crystal bowls, sound healing that will upgrade you, body, mind, and spirit. You are also going to be getting the Sweet Sundance Medicine training. I've spent much time studying with various shamans, learning lots of stuff. And the medicine wheel is very foundational training. And I have been giving permission from my shaman, who is indigenous, to teach this wisdom, which is in the public, not in the public realm, with my own flair, so that you can start to have a feel of what we did at the very beginning, calling in the Northeast, Southwest, the animals, the humans, the plants, the minerals, all of that wonderful stuff. So you're going to get training on that, and we are going to film that live together. The date will be updated. And then the final bonus is the scientific guide to the seven chakras. This is an amazing guide that I created with AI, with blending my consciousness with the consciousness of the artificial intelligence, which is an extension of infinite intelligence. So it's very exciting to see how this can bring forth this higher wisdom when I'm working with it. It's a very powerful tool. And so I think you're really going to enjoy that. And so this is some very special pricing. So I want you to scroll down. This inaugural run is going to be just $777. Oh my gosh, the normal price is this is definitely a $997 course for sure. But I want to offer it live for $777 because I'm excited and I want to share it with you. I'm getting emotional because I know that this is going to change a lot of people, because we also have a payment plan to make it even more accessible. There is a 4 payment plan, just 4 payments of, I think we did $197. It's going to bring you in just over $777, and again, your life will be transformed. So keep scrolling down read the rest of this page, and I can't wait to connect with you. We're going to be getting started on December 14th, which is my birthday. Yay, I can't wait to unleash your atomic power. Many blessings.